Well, I've been busy, and I had to make some little changes here and there. But I'm just holding this as an example of the toilet paper roll that I had to cut into it straight across so I could fold it up and make it a little bit shorter than it was. Right now I'm stitching her hat onto her head. This is giving her hair all a little bit more protection, and I'm kind of securing her hair and her head once again together. I stuck my thumb with a needle in. It hurts. I'm okay though. I've done this before. Okay. So I'm kind of holding her head still so that it gets sewn on there straight.
With Spotify Premium, it's easier than ever to play what you love and expand your library offline.
I'm doing it with thread
and take off on your next adventure. Upgrade to Premium
because the sock that I'm using is thread, threadish. It's, so it will kind of just blend in there and it'll be nice and strong. I decided to go with this sock for her hat. I'm going to make it into a hat, but I'm going to sew it onto her head first, and then I'm going to work with the back part of the hat. Some people, if anybody watches and they know how to do this kind of stuff, that's fine. You know your way and I know my way. This is how I do stuff. I just see something that needs to be done, and my mind just starts to kind of figure it out. Google was playing music, and I have to turn it off or else this won't get played on YouTube. And also it went to a commercial. It was actually Spotify, but it was being played on my home attendant thingamajig. Going through a hard spot right there. The wig was kind of the hard thing, kind of. There was a lot of little things, but I thought I would show you how I'm doing this. You might be able to see I'm just kind of holding it still right now so I don't lose my place and it doesn't get out of place, because I don't have anything pinned together. I'm just kind of holding it on as I go. Ow. It's a very sharp needle, isn't it? I stuck myself right in here. Ugh. So, yeah, this is part 3, isn't it? The first one was kind of introducing the whole plan, and then I started to get kind of into it, but I really need to focus and pay attention to what I'm doing. And believe it or not, this kind of distracts me from what I'm doing sometimes. You can tell I'm really doing this. I had to also sew and make her neckline a little bit closed. Ruby. So, yeah, it was a little bit hard too. And I also added, I cut a piece of this into a circle, a wide circle. I'll show you on this. So, say this is her head part right here. And I didn't want the stuffings to come out. So I stuffed in this like that. It was a circle. It's just pretend. So I'm kind of showing you what I did. So her head wouldn't leak this stuffing out into her dress and then just disappear, because there was nothing holding it into place, not even on this one. So I think that's why her head and everything were getting a little bit wonky, because there was nothing to hold that stuffing into her head. It was just kind of all coming out. So, yeah, I just thought of that. I hate sometimes when I'm stitching and the thread, especially this little thread, because I used a lot of this little thread, gets into knots as you're pulling it through, and then it gets stuck, and then you have to almost start all over again. That was another little issue that was going on, but that always goes on. So the reason why I want this long enough and strong enough is because this is kind of like a stuffed toy needle. And since this is a stuffed toy type thing, so what I'm doing is poking it in just a little bit, not too much. And then once you feel it going in, you bring it up. And that's when I got clipped by this needle on my thumb. Because I'm working from the outside inside and bringing it out. And I don't know sometimes where it's coming from. Okay, where's my ending? Right about there. Okay. I know it looks funny now because it's a sock, but believe me, I'm going to transfer it into a hat. It'll be kind of like a little beanie type hat. But like I said, I don't really want it too heavy that it's going to pull down her head and keep her not looking straight ahead. Her hair's kind of sticking out through the bottom of it, but it will kind of protect it too, because I did have to, underneath the wig, I stuffed more in there, more of the stuffing in there to give the back of her head a more full, rounder look and a feel to it. I have to make sure that I'm getting the head and the hat. The more I was looking at her face and her hair, the more she looked like Professor Snape to me. If you don't know Professor Snape, Harry Potter, that's all I'm going to say. She could be Professor Snape's sister that nobody else knew about. Because maybe like Hermione, she was a muggle-born witch. So they kind of kept her in the closet like Harry Potter. And, well, I don't know. That's my backstory. You ever make something and you make up like a little backstory of why it is or what is it about or whatever? I keep poking myself. Okay. I think I'm at a stopping point now. So what I'm going to do is just bring this out, all the way out. It came unneedled. Cut just enough that I can make a little knot, and then it'll just be kind of on the inside. Once I can tuck it in there, it'll be fine. It's not like a little kid is going to be playing with this and then all of a sudden it's going to fall apart. So I'm just kind of... Some kids are very nice with their toys and some are just very, very playful with them, and then they wind up getting broken or torn or falling apart. There's some more of these Tunisian teeny tiny ones. Okay. It'll be alright. It's in the back, so I'm just gonna clip it here. There we go. It'll be fine. Alright. So hoping it's gonna look alright. And you know what else I could do is I'm gonna be cutting this off at a certain point. I'm gonna kind of make it have like a point to it. You'll see a lot of different witches and wizards wearing different kind of hats. Some of them will be pointing up and some not. So, but I definitely don't want the heel on there. I should have turned it around a little bit better, but that's okay. So, because I'm going to kind of go right about here. I'm going to pull it, stretch it out as much as I can. It'll make it easier to cut it. Okay. I still have this yarn here that I'll just rethread up. Okay. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Just going to thread it here. Make it like this. I'm going to go in and out around the, pretty much the very tip. I don't know if you could see me, but I'm just going kind of in and out, up and in and out, all the way around the tip. Just a little stitch, and I'm trying to go as straight as possible. I'm going to have to turn her over. I can start pulling it through a little bit, almost to the end. But I don't want it to come all the way out, but because I want to do something with it. Now, hope this turns out all right. But you know what? Art is art. Sometimes when things don't go quite right, I just tell people, yeah, I meant it to be that way, so it could be individual. It probably would have been better to do this before, but oh well. I wanted to get it on, and I wanted to have enough of it that I could stitch it on, because I folded it up. I folded the end up, like the top part of the ankle. Instead of folding it forward, I folded it up and in. Okay. It's okay. Okay, so don't really need that anymore. So what I'm going to do now is pull on it, and I'm going to tie a knot once, just like you do on a shoestring. Tie it. I'm going to wrap it around, and it's going to give like a little pom-pom effect. So I'm just going to tie it a couple of times around, and around. It's actually kind of cute. Even though the hearts are upside down, it doesn't matter. So then the necklace that I'm going to do for her neck, we shall see. Okay, so then I'm going to thread up. I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do, because I've kind of tied it enough. This is such a long thread, I might have to get another one. I'm going to go through just underneath where I've tied. I'm going to go through all the way through and pull it through. Then kind of right next to it, really close, I'm just going to go right through again. Then take it out. I'm going to cut it. Then I'm going to take this one. Let me cut it a little bit too. It's too long. I don't need it to be that long. And kind of have to twist it a little bit to pull it through here. Oops. You twist it to make it as pointy as possible. And you just stuff it through. Both ends are not coming through. Okay. Sometimes it helps, but I don't like to lick thread because you get all these little pieces of thread on your tongue. There we go. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stick it right underneath where it's bunched, and it's just going to go straight through the material. Pull it out, and you can just move it to either side, left or right, it doesn't matter. There we go. Oops. One more time, won't hurt. This is like so I don't have to tie a knot. because it's just gone inside the material like that, and you just cut it. It'll stay in there, because like I said, who's playing with this? Me, and I'm careful with my stuff. So let me see. Let me show you how this looks. The paper towel roll inside is long enough. It goes to here. So I'm actually kind of hanging on to it a little bit. And with my middle, my last and ring finger, and I have my middle finger here for this hand, and I have my thumb over here for this hand, and there she goes. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. She's still kind of out of it, but I'll remove her relaxation. There you go. Hi, sleepyhead. How you doing? Oh, Ruby. When I start talking in that voice, that's Ruby. She wants me to be talking to her. See? You can see yourself like in a little mirror. How do you feel? Oh, much better. I like this hat. Ruby. You're standing on stuff. You're not supposed to stand on that stuff. You might get something. Get your nose out of there. You're being so nosy. So you like that? You like how you look so far? I'm going to put another little necklace on you. Okay, sorry. Ruby was just getting all into everything. So, you think you want this? Yes, I do. See, her head is staying more straight up. And everything looks pretty nice. Her hair's still kind of fluffing out a little bit here. And right here for some little funny bangs. I'm not funny. No, you're not. You're cute. Well, what do you think? You know what? It's been so many years and I haven't felt any negative energy coming from it at all. So, and it is pretty light. There we go. How do you like that? Well, if she feels comfortable wearing it, and I can always do a cleansing on it, which is something I have done years ago before. So here she is, Tabitha Evelina Ravenmore. Ta-da! I think she looks really good. Thanks for being patient for all the parts to come together. And this is not something I do on a regular basis, but I really like the way that she turned out. And I think you'll be seeing a lot more of her, because I think we have some things that we could talk about. And puppets have always been something I enjoy. And I used to have a marionette, with strings. My parents took us to Mexico and I bought one out there on a street vendor or a little shop. But my brother played with it and got the strings all tangled. So I like a hand puppet because they don't have that. They don't have the strings, and you just make them move how you want. So, oh, thank you. Well, that's it for now. Take care. I love y'all. Have a great day.